Since we can't be together in person, we thought it would be nice to have an opportunity for people to still connect virtually and gather together. And we have a diverse range of events coming up, and hopefully there's an offering for everyone with, every taste. And so I wanted to, invite you to check the website or our social media to find out what's coming up next. And then we're pleased to have Toni Johnson, who is a 2013 and 2017 graduate with us. What a better way to start off with cooking. And so Toni has a lot of experience in that, and she earned her associate's and her bachelor's with us in business administration. She went on to get a master's from St. Joe's University and is now working on her doctorate in organizational development at Cabrini. In 2015, she received the Ann Fitzpatrick Murray Distinguished Alumni Award for Service for her work with those experiencing food insecurities. And she's an Alumni Association board member and is known as Chef Toni. She developed a passion for cooking as a youngster in her homeland of Jamaica, and she worked in various kitchens in Philadelphia, gaining experience. And I have that she owned a Fusion Island restaurant, but Toni corrected me and said she had 4 restaurants at one point, correct? And the Mix and Bowl food truck, which she uses to feed the homeless in Philadelphia. She's also worked as a chef at Phil Abundance, and has kindly agreed to help us kick off the Griffins at Home series with some of her delicious cooking, and she'll be showing us some techniques as well. So please help me welcome Chef Toni. Thanks, Toni. Take it away.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. So I want to let you guys know, if you have a question, comment, just jump right in. I mean, this is very relaxed. I'm just going to walk you through a couple of different things of, how Jamaican cooking is done. And again, it's just like, different parishes cook different things. And I'm making curry shrimp tonight. I made the coconut rice already because coconut rice takes freaking forever. Well, rice takes a bit to cook. And I'm like, I didn't want to, coconut rice. And I'll just walk you through some of the ingredients. But my question to you, has anybody ever had curry shrimp?
No,
has anybody had Jamaican food?
Yeah,
I've had curry, like curry stew, but it didn't have shrimp in it.
So what happens is curry, hold on one second. Curry is derived from turmeric, right? So the turmeric is what gives curry its color. Looks just like ginger, but it's turmeric. See the color? So that's turmeric. So what happens is if you get, now there are in South Philly, so I shop on 50s in West Philadelphia, even though I live in Delaware County. There is on 69th Street in Upper Darby, there's an H Mart. If you go to H Mart, and there's one in 309, there's one in Jersey, there's a couple of H Marts. And that Asian supermarket, I love it so much because they sell turmeric and it's cheaper. It's either I get it at H Mart or I get it down in South Philly at the Asian markets down there, because I shop at an organic store here in Delaware County. It's called Martindale's. Martindale's for a half a pound is $15.99 for turmeric. Merry Christmas. But turmeric is a really good, it helps with arthritis. It has a lot of benefits. But I put a little turmeric every morning in my fresh juice. So this is a really good thing. Turmeric helps with your joints. It helps with a lot of different things, cold. So look at the benefits of turmeric. So now that we know that curry, now this is Jamaican curry. Okay, let me try to get the angle right. So it's $13.99 a pack. How big is this puppy? It's almost a pound. And Better Pack is, it has, so let me just tell you this. Let me backtrack. There's an ingredient in Jamaican cooking, right? You guys call it allspice. We call it pimento, right? Pimento is what gives it such a rich flavor. And so the pimento and the turmeric makes our curry a little different than Indian curry. And then you have different Indian curries. You have red curry. You have so many different curries. Curry is what you put in it, but it's the turmeric. Everybody from it's yellow, they call it curry. But curry has to be made. So it's, it might be a little bit more of this, as opposed to one in Trinidad might have less of this. So even in the Caribbean, we have different types of curry. But most restaurants in Philadelphia uses Better Pack. And we can buy it online too. But it's a little expensive. So you got to use it sparingly. And also, you'll see on the recipe that you got, it says burn the curry, right? And burning the curry, I'll show you what I mean about burning the curry, but it actually releases the oils and releases all the fragrance and toast it. So it gives it that rich flavor. So that's why we call burning the curry. So that's that. So any questions so far? We're good?
Yes.
All right.
Where can we get the Better Pack curry powder?
So the Better Pack, so you can either get it online, you can Google it, because there's right now everybody's in quarantine, so I think it's probably on Amazon as well. But I do shop in West Philly. There's we call it the Jamaican market, but it's like we have African stuff. We got all kinds of stuff in there. And so it's on 52nd and Walnut, and there's actually two, and you can't miss it because it's the biggest store on the block. And that's where I actually go to get my Jamaican stuff. Because I get pimento there as well.
And Toni, how long does turmeric stay fresh?
So turmeric is just like ginger, right? So if you don't use, it'll start closing up depending on, it depends. I leave mine in the refrigerator, because what happens is it's full of water. So I leave it in the refrigerator, because if you take out ginger, you see it starts to dry up over time. And yes, so what happens is leave it in the refrigerator and just kind of keep it moist too. And sometimes I actually take a paper towel and wrap it. If I'm on my last piece and I don't want to go to the store, I wet a paper towel to keep it moist. So yeah, it depends. But you don't have to get a lot. At H Mart, you can just ask somebody, say, can I just have a little quantity? But again, turmeric in everything, because you don't taste it. Unless, with my juice, it's really earthy. It has a really earthy taste, but I like that earthy taste because I put ginger in it and I put garlic in it. I put everything in my juice in the morning just to kind of give me that boost. So yeah. All right, ready to rock and roll? So if you can see, is this too far? It is? Mary? Yes? It's too far? Oh, okay. All right, so let me see. Here we go. One second. I got my chopped veg. All of my veggies are chopped except for my carrots. And when you go to H Mart, if you go to H Mart, because you should go, I'm actually going to put, we call it, you guys call it bok choy. We call it pop cho. We call it pop cho. And these puppies in the bottom, because I've been soaking them in water, these puppies here are sweet potato leaf greens. They are the bomb. Because they come in little packs and they're like $2. And it's like sauteing like broccoli rabe. And it's just so good. It's just it's greenery, man. So let me go get my shrimp and my bread. So I told you guys the seasoning, right? The pimento, I want you to remember, this is the pimento. You call it allspice, Spice Island Grenada. So I actually crushed it up to put it in a coffee grinder. I like mine fresh. So I'm just going to put my pinch on my shrimp. Got my curry powder. See that color? That's nice. That's nice. Now garlic, so in Jamaica, we're a bit of vampires. like our Italian cousins. So I got plenty of garlic. So I'm going to throw the garlic on top. I'm sorry I can't have the camera down. We had some technical difficulties getting it too high to shoot down. But you know what? We got it.
That's
So that's the
perfect,
shrimp
Toni.
in there. And I actually have the tail on. Tail has flavor, okay? A lot of people, little black pepper in there. And that was it. I had salt. Remember, you can always add, but you can never take away. Now, one thing with curry, guys, I want to make sure, because watch, it stains. It will be in your nail beds for days. Yeah. So when you're cooking with curry, make sure you have a plastic or rubber glove. You know, I'm not a rubber glove person when I cook, but with curry, you have to have rubber gloves. And there we go. There we go. Our nice little shrimp. Yes. And so typically what you would do is you would let that marinate for about an hour. So that curry is just, it's terrible. You let it marinate for about an hour or so, because remember, shrimp is going to take on any flavor that you marinate it with. And it's really important. So when you take your shrimp and you peel it, or even if you buy the shrimp that is peeled already, what you should do is always sprinkle a little salt on it and leave it be. It'll bring out the flavor. Just a little salt. And I use kosher salt. Kosher. Why do I should get the hang of this puppy by now. So I either use the kosher salt or I love this salt. This is Truffle Salt by McCormick. That's a game changer, man. Any kind of truffle salt or sea salt, it'll give a really good umami flavor. And if you want it a little bit more fishy, because I have a son who loves fish and loves like really fishy stuff, I actually crush up seaweed. Let me get it. Let me get the seaweed. Because again, you gotta make a trip to H Mart. If you don't do anything, I haven't taught you anything today, is to go over to H Mart. So this here, this is for snacks. So you can even buy it in the Acme, because I buy it in the Acme, and I don't know if Giant has it, I'm not sure, but I know the Acme has it. And you can get it like in the little Asian part. But what happens is I actually crumble it up. So for vegan, because I'm trying to eat, and if I want something, like I put this in tuna fish. My tuna fish is actually chickpeas with this in it. And that's tuna. Yeah, so yeah. But all right, so we got our shrimp going, right? Shrimp is seasoned.
Excuse me, Toni.
Yes.
I missed what that last ingredient was that you just showed us. I missed what.
Oh, that was
what
seaweed.
was that?
I'm not going to add it, but
Okay.
I was just letting you know that seaweed is a really good alternative. I'm trying to give you an alternative to meat, because even though this thing is for Father's Day, and you want to give your father, you know, or husband or significant other, or just make it just any time, it's really important to think about trying to go meatless, less dependent on meat, because again, our bodies take at least 3 to 5 days to process the meat in your body, right? That's a lot of work. And think about it, if I have a hot dog on Monday, it might not be done till like Thursday, processed till Thursday, but Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm still eating. I mean, so my body is just, you know, and one of the things, I have an Instagram, it's called vegan.lifejourney. And I just started it like 2 days ago. And I'm like literally trying to post things that I'm doing every day, because I think people who become vegan and or have been diehard vegans for years, they shame people who eat meat. If I feel like eating a piece of chicken, I'm going to eat a piece of chicken. So it's a life journey, and that's why vegan.lifejourney came about, because I don't want to shame people. And for me, like my sons, I won't eat this. I can smell it. I can smell. might want a little bit more salt. Like I can smell things and I say it needs this, it needs that, it needs whatever. And then I have sons, and plus I will even taste the gravy in my hand, even though I'm not eating the meat. So some vegans will be like, oh, you're going to vegan purgatory. So, you know, I want people to feel, yeah, thank you, Jill. I appreciate you. You need to come over to Wine Time later on tonight, girlfriend. Hey. It is right after this at 8 o'clock, man. So, all right, we got this. We are ready to cook. As a matter of fact, guys, do you, anybody have plantanos? Never had plantain?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So,
Fried.
right. And I did fry some already, right? I did fry some. So I'm going to do this like this. So watch this. So cut it in half. Cut it in half, right? Cut the end. Okay. Take this. Just as you got to see the flesh. You come right down. And you open up the flesh, right? Just a little cut. See? That little cut. So now you're peeling your plantain. Now here you're plantain. So some people cut it just cross like this, chop, 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 chop. Or you can cut it on the angle. Let me show you. So plantain is traditionally served on your plate. Like it's not even a side dish, it's just a compliment, okay? But let me heat up the wok. Oh, first I forgot. How am I gonna forget? I didn't cut my greens. I was sitting here doing other stuff. I was working. I was like, oh, I got plenty of time. My niece got here and she was like, no, auntie, you don't. I was like, what? She was like, no, you don't. So let me just get some of these carrots going. So I got carrots, I got green bell peppers, orange bell peppers, onions. Now your onion, I want you guys to know the onion can be purple onions, red onions, or it could be white onions. Today I actually chose to do white onions because I had so many colors and I really didn't need red. I'm like, I got red, yellow, orange, I'm fine. I got a lot of orange though. Oh, and here's the piece de resistance. This is a caprisum pepper. This is what makes Jamaican cooking on. So remember, you got a couple things going. So make sure. And these peppers are in H Mart too. And they're in a lot of the regular supermarkets. However, this is a kicker. In the regular supermarkets, they tend to buy them young and they never really mature and they never get the spiciness that you really want. And again, remember, I'm not an advocate for a glove, but when dealing with this pepper, it's a glove. Definitely a glove. So yeah, but again, all right, so we got that. I usually put just a little bit. Bam. All right, so got my bok choy, and I'm gonna knock this out really quickly because what happens, you want to give it a rough cut because it's your greens, you know what I mean? And your greens should be nice and this is like, because I'm not making cabbage. Traditionally, a lot of Jamaican people have cabbage with cabbage and carrots. I'm not making that today because I'm putting all of my vegetables in my pot. Okay. I'm gonna a rough chop because I'm not eating it. My kids are, and they're scavengers. But you can cut it on a bias because again, you want everything to cook at the same time. So you got to be aware of that as well. Make sure that it's not too thick. But these potato greens literally are like spinach. They cook so fast. And you want to have that crunch on the end. And I love bok choy because again, that crunchiness. And we are ready for the wok. Bam. There we go. Now guys, one of the things when you're prepping, this is like a stir fry. With the stir fry anything, it is really imperative that you take the time, because let me tell you something, this recipe goes really quick. What takes the most time is the freaking cut. Yeah, that takes the most time. It's just like making stir fry. That takes the most time. And make sure, so today, and another thing that's always in curry is potatoes. We call them Irish potatoes. So little history lesson. During the Irish famine, there were a lot of Irish immigrants that came to the Caribbean. And they brought the potato. So we equivalent, it's so hard for me to say potato, because I say Irish potato. They're like, what? The Irish potato. Because that's how I grew up. I call it the Irish potato. So even in the kitchen, I was like, I need Irish. It was like, what the hell is she talking about? Irish potato. So yeah, I've boiled these potatoes, right? And usually, like my sister, because she thinks I can't cook. I'm telling you, my sister, I have awards, but she still thinks I can't cook. But like, I'm telling you, I don't cook anything.
She didn't make it to the Food Network, Toni.
Listen, even if I was on the Food Network, she still wouldn't think I could cook. I don't cook anything. At any family gatherings, I cook nothing. I buy all of the beverages. So this is nice and cooked, right? Nice and soft. Look at it, nice and soft. So I'm going to actually cut up a few, because what happens is in curry, and the skin will start to fall off. But in curry, when you want it thick and have all that nice juice, the potato, the starch from the potato is going to give it, thicken your curry. Because like Jill said, she had curry stew. Well, this isn't going to be a stew, but it'll still have that richness. And you can actually, when you cook your potatoes, the easiest thing is if you can cut them like this, like on the bias, or half moons, it'll be nice, because it'll still break up. It'll still break up, but it'll give it a nice, good, rich flavor. So I got some of that. So now I worked this puppy out, man. I'm like, do I cook here? Cook here. Cook here. All right, so I'm gonna turn on this wok. This wok has seen 20 years, and this wok was like $5. So I'm gonna get this, and I need some more curry, because again, remember, I seasoned the curry, and I told you guys, make sure you have some curry to the side. And I also have coconut oil. Now, coconut oil for me is what I grew up on. It doesn't matter, because you can get coconut oil in Marshall's and Supermarket, and it's really expensive. Gotta be careful. So remember, in your household, there's going to be some staples. Coconut oil should be one of them. Olive oil, canola oil, different types of oil for different types of things. Grapeseed oil, really high smoke point. It's not going to burn up. This does not have a high smoke point. See? I don't know if you can see it. It's starting to smoke already, man, because it doesn't have a high smoke point. But the coconut oil for me gives it that flavor that I'm looking for. And I'm letting my wok just go ahead and do its thing, man. Because first what I'm going to do is put a little oil in here and then just start stir frying it. Because basically a lot of people, I mean, depending on the camp that you're in Jamaica, a lot of people don't use woks. I love my wok. It's the easiest thing ever. But it's just, see, nice and smoky. Let me turn on my fan. Oh, it was one. Before my neighbors say, what is she burning again? My neighbors know. I'm going to put a little oil in here. I'll put some regular oil. This is canola oil. A little canola oil. I'll say about a quarter cup. Okay. Some people don't like to use oil. Some people like to use nonstick spray. If you use nonstick spray, you will not get that gravy. You will have to add water. So that's why I put the oil in. Oil nice and hot. Doesn't take long to get hot. And I'm going to add This goes really fast. A little sprinkle of curry, right? Not even a full tablespoon. And the oil starts to release. And it starts to seed. Sorry, you guys can't see. Woo. But it gives it a nice flavor. You'll see the end result. All right. What's the hardest vegetable to cook? Your carrots. So I always put my carrots first. Then my onions. And remember, my onions got pepper in it. And I don't want to forget my vampireness. Can't forget my garlic, man. Let that cook a little bit. And remember, your wok should be high because you want your vegetables a little al dente. You know, I don't like al dente pasta. I like my pasta cooked. But you want definitely, fire went out. Yeah, you definitely want to cook your, because this is a fast process, really fast process. So how are you guys feeling?
Hungry?
Yeah, me too.
But there should be some stuff like coconut milk. You can get coconut milk in Acme. Coconut milk should be a staple. So what happens is, even in the health food stores like Whole Foods, you know, subbing out coconut milk, they have sweetened and unsweetened, they have vanilla. Trying those things like when you're baking and so forth, try to switch out things little by little. Because what happens is, people would eat vegan food if it tastes good, right? If it tastes good and people weren't shaming them. That's a problem for me. But people shame other people. Oh, you're a meat eater. Oh, you eat pork. Oh, you eat that. No, that's none of your business, sir. Sir, man, that's none of your business. Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, the recipe is posted on the website under the event information.
Yes.
And if you have any problems, feel free to contact me and I'll send it straight over to you.
Most definitely, most definitely. And this is served, curry typically is served with white rice. And today what I did was, again, I told you about coconut milk. I put a little bit of coconut milk in my rice while it was cooking with some garlic and some parsley. That's all. And it's going to give it a nice flavor, because some people like curry stews, like Jill was saying, a lot of curry stews have coconut milk in them. Now, depending on where you're at in Jamaica, some people use coconut milk in curry, some people don't. I'm not one to use all that kind of stuff. All right, so now I got something going on here. Now let's do some bell peppers, some red, and some green. We got the rainbow here, man. I'll put a little scallions in here. You know what I didn't do, guys? I didn't put a little ginger. Ginger, for me, is in everything. Literally everything. Ginger covers a multitude of sins. Just know that. Just like icing, ginger carries a multitude of sins. Oh gosh, I'm liking this. Ooh, smell-o-vision. We'll let that go ahead and do its thing. Because once that's cooked up a little bit, then I'm going to add the shrimp. Because the green, because I want the greens so crunchy, I'm going to add them last. So, let me just put this to the side. I'm actually going to put my potatoes in here too. I had a couple of potatoes cut. Put them puppies in there. The potatoes are just a thickener. But when you're making curry chicken, potatoes are substance. But in curry, you gotta have some type of potato. God. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. You have a choice. When you're cooking in a wok, you can add liquid or not. Right now, I'm not choosing to add liquid because when I start putting the shrimp in, they're going to sweep what we call spring liquid. I like it. Looks nice and colorful. And what you can do to kind of speed the process, and also salt is a flavor enhancer. That's all it should be. It shouldn't be used to, you know, I'm just going to sprinkle a little salt. Truffle salt, that is. I grew up with the Beverly Hillbillies. Truffle salt, that is. I love the Beverly Hillbillies, guys. So let that do its thing. Put this over here. Oh, guys, I want to show you this. So this is butter. It is vegan butter. I buy it in Martindale's, and it's the truth. So if you like country crock, because I wasn't a country crock person, but I do love this. Love it, love it. It's a really good thing to have. Start to move around. I see some stuff going on here. And what you do is with the wok, I'm so sorry that I can't show you guys, is that I put the vegetables, I make a well. Move the vegetables up on the side before I add my shrimp. I add my shrimp directly into the middle. And then let them start cooking. Because once that's cooked, then I'm going to add my bok choy. My bok choy here. Yes. So we're almost done. Like literally, almost done. I'm telling you. The hardest thing of this is really, truly just cutting your vegetables. That's it. So in my oven, I turn it off now, because we shall be plating up soon. So in Jamaica, I don't know about here in America. If your ears ring, somebody's talking about you. My ears are ringing. And I only have one ear. I'm deaf in my left. Let me go and get some. Alrighty. So I wanted to show you guys this. Now this is the jackfruit that came out of a can. Let me get the key. So here's the jack. Wait a minute. I should be a pro at this.
You got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a jackfruit. So you get it in Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, H Mart. Well, H Mart, I don't know. Like H Mart, they have the fresh one. Yeah, H Mart, they have the fresh one. So don't know if you can get it, but yeah, this is doing its thing. I might add a little bit of water, not sure yet. But the jackfruit, what you would do is, again, the vegan option, season it like you would season anything else. Because jackfruit has that bite to it. So you can eat it out of a can, but it has a can flavor to it. So when you get it, you literally have to squeeze it out. There's nothing in there because I did squeeze it out. But this is the flesh. It's fleshy. But because it tastes like can to me, that's where that ginger is going to come in for you. So you're going to put that curry powder on it, and you're going to make sure you put that ginger and the garlic. But jackfruit is phenomenal because you can make barbecue. I make barbecue sliders with it. This jackfruit, I make barbecue. Wait a minute, excuse me. Woo! Pepper. That's one thing about, I smell the pepper, man. That pepper will get up your nostrils. And oh, it smells like shrimp in here.
Toni, how do you cut a jackfruit if you buy the fresh?
What?
How do you cut the jackfruit if you buy it fresh?
So,
just take a machete to it?
Well, I would tell you to go online and Google it because there's a YouTube video. Because what happens is it's in pods, right? And the outside skin, you have to oil your hands because it's so sticky. So it doesn't look sticky, right? It doesn't look sticky, but it is very sticky. So what happens is it's usually cut already in H Mart, and you'll get to see like the pods. You'll see the pods. It'll come like this. So you'll see the little pods and so forth. And the seeds, what we do in Jamaica, we actually take the seed because the seeds are huge. This is like, I knit part of this seed. And what we do with the seed, we actually dry it out and use it like popcorn. We roast them. Yeah, we roast them. We roast the seeds. So let me see the pod. Because the pods are the doozy to come out. I mean, when you get a knife, because I cut mine, when I buy whole, see, even in between, this fibrous meat is a lot what's in the can. So let me get this pod out. And what I do with the pod, I actually make oxtails with it. So my substitute for oxtails. So that's why I like to get the fresh jackfruit as opposed to the can, because it lets me cook something whole. I just ripped it. So this is like a pod, right? An oxtail, it's a nice big chunk of beef, right? So what I do is take the pod out, take the seed out of the pod, and now I have bits and pieces like this. So now I can take this and literally season it like I would season an oxtail, brown it and whatever. Because what happens, jackfruit can take on any flavor. It's like tofu. It takes on any flavor that you give it. All right, shrimp. Bok choy now. Bok choy and greens. Because what happens is, this puppy is ready. I'm going to add just a tip of water. Because my shrimp are ready. And let it do its thing. So, I'm going to try to pull out this oven. Without burning myself. This is my coconut rice that I just made like at 5 o'clock. It's still hot. And I fried plantain beforehand. It's important when you're frying plantain to make sure you leave it, have a paper towel to drain it. So some people fry their plantain like this, nice round plantain. I prefer mine long. I just prefer mine long. I don't know. Psychological thing. All depends on what I'm doing. So coconut rice, again, coconut rice has coconut milk. I actually use coconut milk powder. That Jamaican store on 52nd Street has the powder. Let me show you. There is a brand. So if you're looking for Jamaican products, there's a brand in Jamaica. It's called Grace. That would be like the Heinz family here. So Grace Kennedy. So this is the coconut milk. It's in powdered form. Or you can get, yeah, I usually don't have a lot of canned coconut milk because I usually make my own coconut milk. And it's easy to make your own coconut milk. All you do is you see your brown coconut you see in the supermarket, take those, you crack it, you dig out the coconut meat, the white meat, and you grate it, or, well, in America, what you do is you take it, put it in a blender with some water, cover it, blend it up. When you blend it up, then you take a cheesecloth and you squeeze it. Coconut. It's so easy. Coconut milk is so easy. That's why I don't buy canned coconut milk, because it's so easy to cook. This is doing this thing. Let me get this. Let me go for heavy artillery. Because now And this is like, this pot here for my boys, this pot will be done tonight. Trust me. They eat like animals. I'm telling you. And it's just doing its thing.
Toni, if there were
Yes.
leftovers, how do they keep? Do they keep well? Do they just kind of marinate in their own?
What?
If there's leftovers, if there were leftovers, how do they keep?
Well, you just put them in the fridge like you do. So, according to ServSafe, I'm also a ServSafe instructor, the food handler's license in restaurants. So, according to ServSafe, right, if we want to be safe with food, first of all, the internal temperature of shrimp should be 145. So, if you have a thermometer and you're sassy, it is 145. However, any food, like you got to just, even rice. That's why I had my rice in the warmer. Because a lot of people don't know that rice is like bacteria on steroids if you leave it out, especially in this hot weather. So make sure you cool your food properly. Stick it in the fridge, let it cool. Sometimes I actually stick my rice after I cook it. I might put it in a glassware and kind of let it go in the refrigerator, even though you can put it on ice to let it cool, and put it in the refrigerator because rice bacteria grows, especially with the heat. So make sure, like, when this cools, first of all, it doesn't cool in my house when I'm warm. Like, they have big, giant plates of food, and they're all skinned. Go figure. Go figure. Yeah, I can smell this new salt. But they won't die. They just need a little salt. They won't die. You know, they'll be fine. But yeah, put it in a Tupperware and then let it go. That's it. Put it in a Tupperware and make it do its thing. Yeah, I'm actually done. I want to plate it up for you. Because, again, you don't want your vegetables overcooked. I like them just a little heat through. But yeah, curry shrimp is easy. Now, if you're making curry chicken, internal temperature is 165 from chicken. Same process. The oil, burn the curry, put a little garlic in there, a little ginger. But you're going to have to cook the chicken for a while, and you're going to have to add water. Same process. And remember, let me get a paper towel. I have to dab my face, guys. So while that's doing, I have to dab my face. Because my niece said, do not mess up your makeup or I will be upset. I'm like, okay, I will. All right. So that is done. Wash my hands. Let's get a bowl. You know, I'm a spoon girl. I don't really like eating with a fork. I just don't. I just don't. And so let's see here. Let me move all of this stuff. It's the magic of TV. A lot of people don't understand when you're doing some type of cooking for other people to see, your kitchen is a war zone afterwards. They really don't know what's behind. Like the Food Network, behind the scenes, I'm telling you, it is terrible. It looks like World War VII. And you're talking about these are classically trained chefs. Okay. Everything is done. And I want to put this over here so I can show you, ladies, how I plate this puppy up. Just get some paper towel. So has anybody ever been to Jamaica? Yes.
I was, yeah.
Well, you gotta come back. The border is open and we are taking customers.
How often do you get back, Toni?
At least once a year. But I feel like I live there because my family calls me every day. We're on the phone every day.
Where are they in Jamaica? What part?
So we're in St. Anne's Bay, and we are also in Winston. I am looking for my, and I know I had one.
Hey, Toni, do you do this with tofu ever?
You what?
Do you do this with tofu?
Yes. So I make my own tofu.
Oh,
And so in my tofu, but what happens is buy the firm tofu
yeah.
and make sure you put the curry on and let it sit. Now you can buy curry tofu, you know, in Whole Foods. And so what I did was I started to infuse the curry in the tofu making process. So before I put my coagulant in there, my nabari, which is seaweed extract, before it starts to gel, I put my seasonings in the milk. So I put jerk seasoning in the milk. I put curry in the coconut in the milk. So when you get tofu now, boom, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is delicious. I am, aha. So this, courtesy of my trips to Korea, I love Korea. South Korea and me are very much friends because it's all about vegetables. So this is basmati rice, and I like basmati. I have a son who likes other rice. I don't care. I'm the one who cooks. So, and so if I was serving dinner, just put rice in here and it keeps it nice and hot. Nice little piece for the people. Oh, that's so cute. But we're going to put this. Now, this is the test. So when I am cooking, when I'm plating up for people, depending on who it is, you know, sometimes my kids, I actually get fancy with them, and they're like, yeah, whatever, lady, just feed me. But sometimes I just throw it in there. Just throw it in. Just throw it in there. You'll be fine. Starting to fall apart. Yes. Okay. Let's go. In my rice. So I'm just going to add some of, I want the, this is, gotta have one of these. This is like cooking 101. Like, who does not have a metal spoon? You know, your mother used to beat you with these.
Mine was the wooden spoon.
Yeah, I had wooden too. Yeah. It hung on
Until
the
I
wall.
broke it. Yeah.
Man, listen, I know it all too well. My kids know it all too well. I know they're like, oh, we're traumatized. Woman, we're traumatized. I'm like, you'll be fine. Like, no, we need therapy. Oh, you'll be fine. So I am getting the greens because there's plenty of it. This doesn't, it's not cooperating with me today, but that's okay because we're among family. That's all that matters. That's all that matters, man. And if you catch me at another day, you're like, oh my gosh, her place looks so nice. But today, we're going to make it happen, Kat. Making it happen. Okay, we got that. Oh, wow, time is flying. You ladies, you got me just, I'm just going off at the mouth. All right. So here we go. And I feel like I'm missing something, but hey, it is what it is. My son, Paul, I asked him to come taste it and make sure I'm not killing anyone. He was like, no, I'm fine. So let me take this camera. Oh, I see you. You see me? I see you. Right, so hold on.
Wait a little farther down. Ooh,
Got your plantain.
That's beautiful.
that is.
So colorful.
And that's what it's about. You know, we eat with our eyes, and this looks crazy. If my sister saw this, she was like, what kind of abomination is this? I'm telling you. Like, everything has to be meat for her. And this is, you know, this is shrimp, your plantain, and your vegetables. Remember, those vegetables, if you cook them too much, you won't have that bite. You know what I mean? That curry shrimp is like, that's what it's all about. It's all about, it's something quick. The more you do curry, the more you get used to it. You know what I mean? Because it's something you can put in a freaking crock pot. Okay? Season your meat, put it in a crock pot, and go to work. Come back, got curry chicken. All you have to do, and if you have a rice cooker, like I do, 12-hour one, put the rice in there too. Coconut milk, bazinga, you come home, you have a meal. The only thing I wouldn't do is put your green vegetables in. I would put, like if you're doing, because curry shrimp, you would have, I'm not sure. I've never cooked shrimp in my crock pot, but I've cooked chicken in it. And I can tell you that the chicken was nice and tender. I put my Irish potatoes in there, cut them puppies up, and I actually cut them in nice chunks. So there was a gravy. Now remember, you just got to skim the oil off the top, and you're good to go. But yeah. Oh, so listen, we can't have this without something to drink. Let's say. Now for me, I thought about Jada, and I said, you know, she has always been good to me. And yesterday, this is how I know that God is alive, okay? I'm telling you, he's just awesome. Because yesterday, I'm cleaning up something, don't know what it was. And guess what I found, ladies?
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
And this is rum punch.
Very nice.
You know, Dad would be happy with a little rum punch. He would be inclined to have some curry shrimp if you make the rum punch. Oh, man. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. I truly, truly do.
Oh,
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Toni. That was
You're
wonderful.
welcome.
Excellent.
Oh, thanks for sharing your passion with us,
Yes.
Toni.
That was awesome.
Thanks for
Thank
organizing.
you.
Jonna.
What, Joe?
I said thanks for organizing, Jonna.
Oh,
I know. She's the bomb, man.
Next
Like,
week,
woo!